In this video, I'm going to show you how to start a WordPress blog for free. I'll specifically show you how to start a WordPress blog using Elementor. Elementor is a drag and drop page builder that we are going to use in order to design our website and also use it to create our blog posts. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a fully customizable blog website that you can use to start blogging with. In this video, I'll show you how you can add a blog post using the Elementor drag and drop page builder. In this video, I'll show you how you can customize your header section, the banner section, popular blog post section, about section, as well as latest posts and guides section. In this video, I'll give you two alternatives that you can choose from for your home page. Now let's see how a single blog post will look like. I open it in a new tab. This is how a single blog post will look like. I'll show you how you can add table of contents to your blog post and also show you how you can lay out your blog post. And lastly, I'll show you how to add a cookie consent widget to your website. And to make this website, we are going to use only free resources. The only thing you need to pay for is a domain name and web hosting, which is a standard for every website. So, if you want to learn how to start a WordPress blog for free, keep watching. Hello guys, this is Sadiq here at Dikupages Web, where I do web tutorials just like this one. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. That said, let's jump into the video. As I indicated in the introduction, to make this website, we are going to use only free resources. The only thing you need to pay for is a domain name and a web hosting, which is a standard for every website. So to get your own custom domain name and web hosting, click on the very first link in the description down below, or go over to your browser and enter dikupages.com/www. Hit enter, and this will bring me to hooperweb.com. I can click on view plans to see the various plans, or I can go to web hosting. Whichever way, they will all take you to the same location. Going down, these are the three plans you get under Hooper Web. They have baby plan, business and unlimited, and they all come with their respective features. As you can see, for baby plan you get only one website, with business 15 websites, and then the unlimited you get unlimited websites. So basically everything under the unlimited are actually unlimited, and you also get free domain yearly. So if you are just starting out, you can choose either the baby plan or the business plan. You can always upgrade. But for this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and use the unlimited. So I click on choose plan. In here, you can go ahead and register a new domain. You can also transfer your domain from another registrar. Or if you already have a domain registered somewhere, you can go ahead and choose this so that you update your name service. But for this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and register a new domain. In here, I enter, click admissions. This is the domain I'm going to register. In here, I drop down the arrow and I can choose from any of these domain extensions. For this, I'm going to go ahead and use .com, and I'll go ahead and click on check. And you see that free domain registration applies to the following extensions. So if you are not going to use .com, you will not benefit from the free domains. Congratulations, clickadmissions.com is available, and you continue to register this for $11. Don't worry, we are not going to pay for this, depending upon whatever package you are picking. So I click on continue. So these are the various features we get under the unlimited package. Next is billing cycle. You can go ahead and host your website for 1 month, which will cost $5. You can host for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So as and when you choose a higher number of years, the cost is reducing. So in order for me to benefit more, I'm going to go ahead and choose 3 years. So I choose this, and you see that my cart will update. So I go ahead and click on continue. These two features are all free: ID protection as well as email forwarding. So I add both to cart, and I go ahead and click on continue. So you see the total cost of web hosting and that of domain registration. You see that domain registration is 0. So if you have a coupon code, you can go ahead and add it. I don't have any. I go ahead and click on checkout. So in here, you go ahead and enter your personal information, billing address, as well as domain registration information. If you already have an account with Hooper Web, you can go ahead and click on already registered. and that is what I'm going to do because I already have an account with them. In here, I enter my email address. Alright, I've entered my details. Going down, in here, I'm going to go ahead and use PayPal to make my payment. So I go ahead and accept the terms of service and I enter the capture details. Next, I click on order now, make the payment and meet you on the next page. Alright, the order is confirmed and I can click here to continue to client area. And if I go to domains, you see the particular domain we've just registered. So next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and check my emails because Web will send me some messages with regards to my pages as well as my login details to the cPanel. So I open up my mail. So these are the various messages I have with regard to my order. First of all, you see that I have a message from Namecheap. I go ahead and open it in order to confirm my domain name. So in here, I just go ahead and click on this link. And now registered email address is successfully verified. So I exit from here. Then I go back. So all these are messages with regard to my order. But I'm going to go ahead and open this particular one, Web-hosting account information. This is where I'll get my login details to my cPanel. So scrolling down, in here are my cPanel login details, that is username, password, as well as the control panel URL. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and open up this control panel URL. So I just click on it and it will open in a new tab. So next I go back to my mail and grab my username and password and come back and log in. Alright, I've entered my login details, then I go ahead and click on sign in. I can exit from here and here for now. And now we are in the direct admin cPanel of Web. So now that we have logged into our direct admin cPanel, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and install WordPress. To do that, I scroll down to extra features, then I click on software close auto installer. In here, I have WordPress. If you don't see it here, you can also go ahead and click on it from here. I just go ahead and click on install. And I choose protocol here. You make sure that you choose HTTPS. Since Web will be giving us free SSL certificate, and this is the domain we've just registered. In directory, you don't want to put anything there. Going down in here, you can give the name of your website as well as the site description. Alright, I've entered my site name as well as site description. Next is admin username, password, as well as admin email address. These are the details you use to log into your WordPress website in order to edit it. So I'll go ahead and enter my login details. Alright, I've entered my login details. Scrolling down, I click on install. And WordPress will install in some few seconds. Alright, congratulations, the software was installed successfully. And in here, I have the URL to my website as well as the administrative URL. So I can click on this and this will take me to the front end of my website. And this will bring me to the front end of my website. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and log into my website in order to start customizing it. To do that, I click at the end of my URL, then I bring /wp-admin. Hit enter. Sometimes you may be required to do some verification, so I just go ahead and click on I'm not a robot, and this will redirect me to the login page. I go ahead and enter my login details, then I go ahead and click on login. I can exit from here for now. And this will bring me to the back end of my website. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and clean up WordPress. So I click on screen options, then I go ahead and uncheck all these to get rid of all the widgets in here. Awesome. Next, I go over to post. Defaultly, WordPress will give us a hello world post after installing it. I don't need it. I go ahead and trash it. Then I go over to trash. Then I empty the trash. Next, I go to pages. We have these two pages. We don't need them. Bulk actions, move to trash, apply. You can also go to the trash and empty the trash. Next, I go to appearance. I have these three themes and I'm not going to use any of them. However, this is the active one. So I go ahead and delete the ones which are not in use. Unfortunately, we cannot delete this theme now. You can only delete it when you have another theme installed. So we'll delete that after we have installed the theme we are going to use for this tutorial. Next, I go over to plugins. I don't need these two plugins. I delete them apply, OK. Next, I hover on users, then I go ahead and click on profile. Going down, in here I enter my first name and then last name. I can change my nickname and display name publicly as. I go ahead and choose this. Take note, I'm getting this combination as a result of entering my first and last names. Going down, I update profile. Next, I go over to settings. In general settings, you can change the name of your website as well as the site description. I've already done that, take note. Next is WordPress address URL and site address URL. In here, you need to make sure that this is set to HTTPS so that your website will be secure. I already have that, so I scroll down. Now go ahead and save the changes, even though I have not made any changes. Next, I go over to permalinks. Under common setting, you need to make sure that your permalink is set to post name instead of day and name. With post name, you get clean URLs as compared to day and name. With day and name, you have year, month, and day as part of your URL, and this is not good for search engine optimization. So I'll make sure mine is set to post name, then I go ahead and save the changes. So now that's all the customizations and setting up I want to do on WordPress. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and install a theme. Take note, a theme is basically the design and layout of your website. So before we do that, let's quickly take a look at the current look and feel of our website. So I go ahead and right click on the name of my website, open link in a new tab. So now this is the look and feel of my website at the moment. So let's go ahead and install a theme. I go back, then I go ahead and click on appearance, click on add new. Under search themes, I search for Bloxy. I have Bloxy right here. I click on install. It is installed. I go ahead and activate. Now that we have installed and activated our Bloxy theme, we don't need this theme anymore, so I go ahead and delete it. And now if you go to the front end of our website and refresh, you see the new look and feel of our website. Awesome. Going back to the back end, up here you see that it is strongly recommended that we install the Bloxy Companion. With Bloxy Companion, you get extra features to the Bloxy theme. So I go ahead and click on install. Take note, if you cannot find it here, you can also go to plugins, add new, and go ahead and search for Bloxy Companion. In here, if you want to opt in for updates from Bloxy theme, you can go ahead and allow and continue. I'll skip for now. And now the Bloxy Companion is installed and activated. You can go to starter size. In here are some pre-made websites you can go ahead and import if you want to use them. But for this tutorial, we are not going to use any of this. Next, I go to extensions. In here, I'll go ahead and activate cookie consent. I'll also activate trending post as well as widgets. We may not be using widgets in this tutorial. Now you can also go ahead and activate newsletter subscribe as well as product review depending upon the kind of website you are making. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and install some plugins that I'll be using for my website. So to do that, I go over to plugins, click on add new. The first plugin I'm going to install is Elementor. Elementor is a drag and drop page builder that we are going to use in order to design our website. I have Elementor right here. I click on install now. It is installed, but I won't activate it now. I'll go ahead and install the next plugin, which is premium add-ons for Elementor. I click on install now. Premium add-ons for Elementor is also installed. The final plugin I will install is Easy Table of Contents. I have Easy Table of Content right here. I go ahead and install now. If you are making a blog website, it's very important you add table of content to your blog posts. This is good for SEO. So all the plugins I want to use for now are installed. So I go back to install plugins. Then I go ahead and select all, click on bulk actions, activate, apply. Alright, all my plugins are activated. Now that I have all my plugins in place, The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and import a demo website, and I'm actually going to go ahead and import a template kit. With a template kit imported onto your website, you will have a fully blown website, and I'm going to give you this template kit for free. I'll leave a link in the description down below that will take you to a page where you can download the template kit. It's absolutely for free. So if you download the template kit, this is how it's going to look like. It's going to come in a zip folder. Then you can go ahead and extract it. After extracting, you get a folder like this. When you open, you get the main template kit and the theme customizer settings. And I'll show you how we can use these two files. So I go back to the back end of my website, and I'm going to go ahead and import my template kit. To do that, I go over to Elementor and I click on settings. I go to experiments, going down to import export template kit. I drop down the arrow, then I choose active, scroll down, click on save changes. So with this particular feature activated, you'll be able to import a template kit onto your website. Next, I go over to tools under Elementor, then I click on import export kit. In here we have two options. You can export a template kit or import a template kit. For this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and import a template kit. I've already made a video on how to import or export a template kit. I'll leave links to these two videos in the description. So for this tutorial, we are going to go ahead and import a template kit. I click on start import. In here, you can drag and drop your files, or you can click on select file to take you to the folder where you have your files. So I already have it here. I'll just drag and drop. I minimize this. It is loading. In here are all what will be importing onto our website. We have template, content, as well as size settings. However, it should be noted that for template, if you don't have Elementor Pro, you won't be able to import templates. So under content, you get all Elementor pages, landing pages, Elementor posts, WordPress pages, WordPress posts, as well as custom post style. And then size settings, you get all this. So I go ahead and click on next. And make sure you enable unfiltered file uploads. And my kit is setting up now, and this will take a moment depending upon how fast my internet connection is. Oops, something went wrong. Okay, sometimes this happens, but let's try to refresh our page and see what happens. So I go ahead and refresh. Alright, it's actually imported. Perfect. However, looking at the header section, it's not exactly what we have in the template kit. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and import the theme customizer settings. To do that, I click on customize. So in the theme customizer, I go over to general, then I click on manage options. So in here, you can go ahead and import the theme customizer settings. You drag and drop the file right here. I have the theme customizer file here. I just drag it and drop it right here. And now you see it there. I go ahead and click on import customizations. Alright, the settings will reload. Perfect. And now everything is looking fine. So I just go ahead and publish. Then I exit from here. Actually, there's supposed to be a logo here. We shall look at how we can add our own logo later on in this tutorial. Now that we have successfully imported our template kit, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create a blog post, and that is the main reason why we are here. So to create a blog post, I can just go over on new, and I go ahead and click on post, or you can go to the back end of your website. And I can exit from here for now. Then if we go to post, we'll see all the various posts we have on our website. We are going to be deleting all of this later on. So from here, you can click on add new here or here, whichever way, they will all take you to the same place. You can see that all our pages are created with Elementor. That's why you see Elementor beside them. So I just go ahead and add a new post. In here, I go ahead and enter the title of my post. I already have my posts well laid out in Microsoft Word, so I'll just go ahead and copy and paste them. But take note, we are not going to be using the Gutenberg editor in order to add our post. I'm only going to use it to add some few details, that is title, categories, tags, as well as featured image. So first of all, let me go ahead and grab my title. Then I go ahead and paste it in here. Next thing I'm going to do is go to categories. So for this particular post, you can see that it's talking about scholarship. So I just click on add new category. In here, I enter scholarship, or maybe scholarships. Then I click on add new category. So you can add as many categories as you want. Then you go ahead and select those that are applicable to this particular post. So I'll add them pretty quick. Alright, I've added all the categories, and going through them, undergraduate is not applicable to this. So I'll select masters, PhD, and scholarships. Going down are tags. You can also go ahead and add some tags. All these are good for SEO. So I can say scholarships, PhD, masters, that fully funded. Perfect. Or maybe I can say study in Germany. Alright, these are some few tags I want to add. Next is featured image. I click on it to choose my image. I have my image here. I'll just grab it and drop it right here. I minimize this. It is uploaded, but before I set it as my featured image in here, I'll go ahead and enter the alt text. And as you can see here, my title is already set to what I want, so I just copy it and I go ahead and paste it in here. I can also add it as my description. Then I set featured image. Perfect. Next is excerpt. If you want to add some excerpt, you can go ahead and add it. It is optional. So after getting all these details, you can go ahead and publish your page. But if people are already aware of your website, you don't need to publish until the content is fully created. So I'll advise that you save it as a draft, then you go ahead and publish when it is fully created. But since nobody knows about my website yet, I'll just go ahead and publish again. My post is published, and I'll go ahead and click on edit with Elementor. So now that we are here, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and use these widgets in order to build my post. So first of all, I'll insert a new section. Then I go back to widgets. Then I grab in the text editor, drop it right here. I go back to my Word document, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this match. The reason why I'm grabbing this match is that this is a heading, and I want to use the heading widget in order to create that. So I just copy, then I go back to Elementor. I just select this, take it off, then go ahead and paste. Next, I go back to my Word editor. I'm going to leave this scholarship summary for now. I'll show you how we can add that later. So next, let's look at the benefits. So this is going to be a heading. So I just grab it, copy, come back in here, go to widgets, then I grab the heading widget. I select it from here, then I go ahead and paste in my text. And as you can see, this is an H2 tag. Next, I go back to my Word editor, and I'll grab this particular section, come back to Elementor, then I go ahead and drag in the text editor. I take this off, then I go ahead and paste. I think this last one is also part of the bullets. So I just click right here, backspace, then hit enter once. Awesome. So similarly, I go ahead and enter the rest of the content. It's just the same procedure as you can see. Alright, so I'll do this pretty quick, then I get back to you. Alright, I've added all the content. Then I just go ahead and update. You can take a look. Perfect. This is cool. So in the same way, you go ahead and add all your content. However, let me show you how we can add the scholarship summary right here. I'm going to use a different feature to do that. So first of all, let me grab the title. Then I go back to Elementor, and it's going to come in between this particular section and benefits. So I can go back to widgets, then I drag in the heading widget. Then I go ahead and paste it in here. Next, I go back to widgets, then I search for accordion, and this is the one I'm going to use. I just grab it and drop it under the scholarship summary. Perfect. And going back to my word editor, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items under scholarship summary. So I make sure I have 6 accordion items. So I just go ahead and duplicate them till I get 6. So going back to my word editor, first of all, I grab level of steady, then I go back to my editor, click on the first one, I enter in my level of steady. I go back to my text editor, and the level of steady is master/PAD. I grab it, then I go ahead and enter it in here. Awesome. I collapse this, then I click on the second accordion, then I go back to my text editor, country, I enter it in here. Going back, steady in Germany, I grab it, then I go ahead and enter it in here. So similarly, I do the same thing to the rest of the 4. Alright, I've entered in all my scholarship summary. Take note, you don't have to do this if it's not applicable to the type of blog website you are making. So I just go ahead and update. Let's take a look. Perfect. You can also go ahead and style it up if you want, but I don't want to get overwhelmed. So you can change the border color, title, everything in here. You can change the background color, active color, typography, and the rest. So similarly, you go ahead and add whatever content you have to be added to your blog website. Now that we have seen how to add a blog post to our website, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and design my website. So to do that, I go to the front end. First of all, I'll start with the home page. I have the home page here. Take note, I have 2 home pages. You can choose whichever one you want. I'll show you how they all look like. So let's see the first one. I can exit from here for now. So this is how the first home page will look like. Under the banner here, we have popular posts. This will show you 6 popular posts, and there's a call to action that will take you to whichever page you want. I will show you how you can link this to any page of your website. Next section is about section. So in here you can go ahead and enter the about of your blog, maybe with some related image. Next is latest post and guide section. In here is another section. I've set this particular section to contain 12 posts. Currently we have only 10 posts. The template kit comes with 9 posts, and we've just added this particular one. So let's see the home page 2 is having the same hero section, but the popular post this time around is having a different design, as you can see in here. And going down, the latest post and guide section is having only 6 posts. So whichever style you want, you can go ahead and choose accordingly. And for me, I'm going to use the home page 2 as my default home page. So before we start customizing the website, let me quickly show you how we can make this page our default home page. So to do that, I go to the back end, then I go over to settings, click on reading. Under your home page display, you see that it is set to a static page, and under home page you see that I have home, which is already selected. Now I'm going to select home 2, then I scroll down, click on save changes. Perfect. Now if I go to the front end, you see that I have home page 2 as my default home page now. So let's start designing our website. To do that, I click on edit with Elementor. So the first thing I'm going to do in here is change this background image. To do that, I click on edit section right here, then I go over to style, I click on the image, and I can choose any of these images. So I'll just go ahead and select this now. I just want to show you how you can do the change. So if you have your own images you want to switch, this is how you can go by it. I'll switch it back to this image. Perfect. And you see that I've set it to center, fixed, as well as cover. And I'll leave it as it is. Next, I edit this text. I just select it, then I go ahead and edit it from here. scholarships, admissions, and study guides. I can edit this one as well. I'll just take it off and I'll go ahead and enter my text. Next is this button. I select it. Maybe I want to link it to the blog page, so I just type blog to give me the best match. I click on it to insert the link. In here you can go ahead and change the button text if you want. I'll leave it as learn more. Going down is popular post section. So if you want to edit this, you just click on the pencil icon right here, and the skin, currently it is set to on site. I drop down the arrow, I can choose classic. You can also use modern, cars, depending upon what you want, but I'll leave it as on site. In here you can also change the number of columns. Default, currently mine is set to 2 columns, and then number of posts per page is 4. You can do whatever settings you want. Next is query. If you come down here, you see that the order by I've set it to random, so I'll just get some 4 random posts to be displayed right here all the time. You can go ahead and choose whichever order format you want, so I'll leave mine as random, and I'll leave the rest of the settings as they are. I'm not actually changing anything. You can go to every single feature and set them up. So this button as well, I can link it to the blog page. Next is the about section. So I just click on the text and I can go ahead and edit it from here. So I've just entered my text. Next, I select this button and I'm going to go ahead and link it to the about page of my website. So I just enter about. I'll get the best match. I click to insert it. Awesome. I'll change this image by clicking on it. Choose image. I have an image I want to use, so I'll just drag it and drop it in here. I minimize this. It is inserted. I'll enter the alt text, and I think I'm going to use the same text. I'll just copy it, and then I go ahead and paste it in here. Insert media. Perfect. And finally is the latest post and guide section. And this particular post grid is using the same feature as here, so I'm not going to waste my time in here. You can go ahead and play with them as you want. So everything is set. I go ahead and update. We can take a look. Perfect. This is cool. The next page I'm going to work on is the about page, so I just click on it. I edit it with Elementor. I just go ahead and edit my text. Perfect. Maybe I can choose an image. I'll just use this same image. Insert media. And in here I have some recent posts. I don't actually need it, so I'll just take it off. But if you need it, you can go ahead and leave it. So that's all for this page. I update. We can take a look. Perfect. Very simple page. Next I go to contact. So the contact page is virtually blank. I edit with Elementor. This column has an image. If you want, you can insert an image here, but I'm not going to use an image, so I'll just go ahead and remove it and delete. Next I go to widgets and I search for icon box. I have icon box right here. I grab it in here. Now I'm going to change the heading to email. Then I go ahead and enter in my email here. I can also change the icon to maybe envelope like this. Insert. I can just go ahead and copy it. Then I paste it in here. The title, I change it to phone. Now I go ahead and enter in my phone number. And that is all what I want to do in here. I update. And I can take a look. Meanwhile, I exit from all this. Perfect. A simple contact page. So similarly, you can go ahead and look at the disclaimer page, privacy policy page, as well as terms page. Let me just click on one so that we see how it is. So it's like this. All what you need to do is click on edit with Elementor, then you go ahead and enter in your text. So that's all the designing I want to do. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create a menu for my website. To do that, I go to the back end, then I hover on appearance, click on menus. I give it a name, so I call it main menu. Then I go ahead and click on create menu. So in here, if you want to use pages as your menu, you can go ahead and select them. You can even go to view all and see all pages, but I'm not going to use pages as my menu. I go over to categories. I have scholarships, masters and PhD. I select them up. Then I go ahead and click on add to menu. Okay, undergraduate was supposed to be part. I can't see it, so I can go to view all, and I have it right here. I just select it, then I click on add to menu. I'll go ahead and rearrange them. Scholarship will be on top, followed by undergraduate, masters and PhD. And I'm going to go ahead and assign my menu to footer menu, header menu 1, as well as mobile menu. Then I click on save menu. Now if I go to the front end of my website, I right click, open it in a new tab, you see my new menu. Perfect. Maybe if you want to add home as part of your menu, you can go back in there. Then I click on all. This is my default home page. Add to menu. It's already on top, and that's where I need it, but I don't need these two right here. So I go ahead and drop down the arrow, and I just remove two. Perfect. Then I save menu. If I come back in here and refresh, you see home as part of my menu now. Awesome. And if you go to the footer section, let me close this, you see the same thing. Now I'm going to create another menu. So I go back to menus, I click on create new menu. I'll call it top menu. I click on create. Then I go to view all. I want to add contact, disclaimer, privacy policy, terms. Then I add it to menu. I'll rearrange it. Maybe contact will come at the end like this. Then I go ahead and assign it to header menu 2, save menu. Now if I come to the front end and refresh, at the moment you will not see it, so we'll make it visible when we go to theme customizer. So now that my menus are created, the next thing I'm going to do is customize my website. To do that, I click on customize. So I'll start my customizations from the header section. So I click on header to enable the header editor. Meanwhile, I'll remove this for now. The logo, I actually don't need it here, so I'll just drag it and drop it right there. And then I'll move search as well as menu right here. Awesome. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and add my top menu. So I have menu 2 right here. I just grab it and drop it right there, and they will display right here. Awesome. The row is too wide, so I will reduce the size by clicking on main row right here. I have row minimum height. I make it 80 or maybe 75, 70. I think 65 is cool. Or maybe I can take it to this location. Let's see how that will come up. Alright, I think that is cool. Next, I work on my logo. I just select it, then I go ahead and upload my logo. I have my logo here. I just grab it and drop it in here. Minimize this. I can give it an alt text, copy it, paste it in here, then select. It's too big. I'll go ahead and reduce the height from here. I think 25 is cool. And I don't need side tagline. I toggle it off. Let's see how tablet and mobile view will come up. Perfect. Mobile. Awesome. Going down to the footer section, I can go back, then I click on footer. So I have my footer right here. That's what we see in here, and everything is cool, as well as the copyright section. So in your case, if you don't want to see designed by Dikupages web. You can enter whatever name you want to enter here and link it up to maybe your website. But for now, I'll go ahead and remove it. Just like that. Next, I go back, going down under site identity. I can go ahead and upload my fave icon. So I select, I go to my folder right here. Now I have my fave icon here. That is the shortcut icon. It is uploaded. I can enter my alt text. Then I select, skip cropping, and it will show right here. Awesome. Next, I go back to extensions, and I'm going to go ahead and work on cookie consent. I select it. I've exited the cookie widget. So first of all, let me publish. Then I refresh the page. Now you can see the cookie consent. So I go down to extensions, cookie consent. In here we have two options. This is the type 1. That's what we see in here. And type 2. This will stretch across the footer. And usually this one will hide the footer. I don't really like this one. Before my visitor will really see the footer section, they will have to accept the cookie policy. And this is the little text for the cookie consent. So I think I like this particular style. And then cookie period. How long do you need your cookie to be active on your website? So you can choose an hour, a day, whatever number, or you can leave it as forever if you want. The button text, you can change it to whatever text you want. One last thing I want to talk about is colors. So I go back to colors right here. In here you can go ahead and choose whatever colors you want. You can choose from a color palette. So if I choose maybe this, see that the color in here has changed, as well as some of the text here. Maybe let me visit a particular blog post. So you see that all these colors have changed to this particular one I've selected. I think I like the blue combination, so I switch back to the blue. Awesome. So that's all the customizations I want to do. I click on publish, then I can exit from here. Now if I try to go to the blog page of my website by clicking on this button, you see that the blog page is empty. So I want all my blog posts to show on this page. How can I do that? I go back to the back end of my website, then I go over to settings, click on reading, the same place we set our default home page. We drop down the arrow under post page, then choose blog, going down, click on save changes. Now if I go to the blog page and refresh, you see all the blog posts. Perfect. And finally, you need to go ahead and delete all the dummy content or the dummy posts which are not related to your blog website. So to do that, you can go over to the back end, click on post, and I'll go ahead and select all the posts. And this is the very one we've added in this tutorial. I'll unselect it, and that is what I'll leave on my website. I go to bulk actions, move to trash, apply. If you want, you can follow it to the trash. Then you go ahead and empty the trash because we don't need them. So if I right click on the name of my website, open link in a new tab, you see that I have only this post. Perfect. And going down, you see this single post. So as and when I add more blog posts to my website, they will appear at their appropriate locations. One last thing I want to show you is, if I go to my blog post, going through, you see that we don't have our table of contents. Meanwhile, we install a plugin that will take care of that. So let's see how we can set it up. So to do that, I go to the back end of my website, then I go over to settings, click on table of contents. Under enable support, you see that post is not selected, so I just go ahead and select it. Meanwhile, I don't want table of content on my pages, so I deselect it. Next is auto insert. I go ahead and select post. Going down, the position in here, you can go ahead and choose whichever location you need it. So defaultly it is set to before first heading. So if I come in here, this is my first heading, meaning the table of content will be on top of this heading. That is if we leave it as before first heading. So you can choose whichever one you want. I'll leave it as the default. and you can set it to show when 4 or more headings are present. What this means is that if you have 4 different headings, which means your table of content will show. And if you are going to be writing blog posts, you don't want to have headings below 4, so I'll leave it as 4, but you can choose whatever number you want, your choice. Next is display header label. If you don't want to display the header label, this is the header label, table of content, you can go ahead and uncheck this. I'll leave it as checked. Going down, the last thing I'm going to work on is appearance, that is width. Currently it is set to auto, but before I change this, let me show you how that one will come up. So I'll go down to the end, then I save the changes. Now if I go to the front end of my website and refresh, you see that I now have my table of content, and as you can see, it is not stretched to the entire width of the page. So if I go back, scroll down to appearance, under width, I change it from auto to 100%. Then I scroll down, save changes. Now if I go back to the blog post and refresh, you see that it will stretch across. Perfect. So with this, your users can jump to any part of your page depending upon what they want to read. Perfect. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. Now there are 2 important things you need to add to your website in order to rank better on search engines. That is, 1, you need to install an SEO plugin like Rank Map, and also connect your website to Google Analytics. These 2 features will help your website to rank better on search engines. Unfortunately, we won't be able to cover those in this tutorial. Maybe I'll try my possible best to make separate tutorials on these 2. So that's it on how to create a WordPress blog. I hope this video was helpful. If you found value, kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and also enable the notification bell so that each time I post a new video on this channel, you will be the first to know. Keep watching, and I will see you in the next one.